Good morning. We're back in Middle Earth and we're going to continue the quest that we started, and it looks like we're headed to the Hill of, we're headed to Cerin Amroth. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Cerin Amroth. Alright, so get on our horse and we're going to head out. Now, I went ahead and grabbed stables. So I'm just going to go to Andestel and take the stable there. And this is part of the epic, so we're headed the right way. You'd think we'd be headed right back into the foundations of stone, but no, we're not. And while we're here, we'll do a couple of the side quests and get some more Lothlorien rep.
Make of honor.
Alright, and it's a slow ride, unfortunately, but it doesn't take too incredibly long to get there, so that's good. And it's nighttime, so it's kind of, I don't know, I guess it looks a little better at night. I do like the lanterns. Although I imagine somebody has to come by every night and light those again. And in fact, I'm pretty sure they do, because there's a quest in the vineyards to light some of these. But we'll get to that in a little bit. There's actually quite a number of dailies you could do here. Some of them are at Cerin Amroth, some are at the vineyards, some are near an orc camp that's on the edge of Lothlorien. And we'll take a look at all of them so you know the various things you can do to get your rep up. This is definitely one of those more frustrating places to get rep if you're new to the game and you're not sure what you're supposed to be doing. And here we are at the stable. Let's go talk to Milwyn.
Welcome to Cerin Amroth. Few only have had the joy of seeing this place.
Okay, so she calls it Cerin Amroth. Welcome to Cerin Amroth. Few only have had the joy of seeing it in these fading times. Its beauty a remnant only of the majesty it once held. For on the mound Amroth, Lord of Lothlorien, built his house in the days before his love was lost and he himself vanished from Middle Earth. It is said that when the south wind blows upon the hill, if you listen for the sound of the gulls, you might hear still Amroth calling for his lost love Medrielle, but she never came back. Milwyn paused a moment, but with a light laugh she recovers herself. Do not look sad, Medrielle. Cerin Amroth should be a reminder of happier days. Walk upon the grass and be joyful. Your sorrows will not follow you here.
A moment, friend, before you go.
Before you go, Medrielle, you should know that you are not the only visitor that has come to Lothlorien in recent days. In fact, I understand that you are known to these guests, and they will be pleased to see you. The hobbit Frodo Baggins is resting with some members of his company on the crest of the hill. I do not know where Aaron has brought them to the Golden Wood, or if you have been entrusted with knowledge of it, but I am sure he will be pleased to see you. Alright, so we have come at the time where the company is staying in the Golden Wood. Welcome, traveler. Lorien shall wash away your cares and burdens as long as you stay here. You may tread every path upon Middle Earth and never see a place like this again. They are very vain about Lothlorien. You have discovered Cerin Amroth. Cerin Amroth, February 15th.
Three-eyed Rondir, stay a moment and speak with me.
May go on, friend. I am a Nericel. How fare you, and whither you go? I am here to gather some of the Eleanor that grows so brightly upon the hill, and extract of the juice from the stem and heart make a marvelous golden yellow color. The creation of pigments and paints is an art unto itself, nearly as engaging as the uses to which I and my fellow artists put them. Unfortunately, it is time-consuming unless... If you had some time to aid me, it would be most appreciated. You have not the knowledge of refining the raw ingredients, but you could help gather them. Stark white chalk can be pried out of the soft white rocks all along the rock face north of here. Berries from some of the local plants provide the base for a vibrant red dye. These bushes grow in relative abundance in the forest west of Cerin Amroth. So she wants me to gather some chalk and some berries to make color. I cannot remember what her quest is, but we have some lag going on.
Hail, what brings you to Lorien? The Lord and Lady have need of your services.
Mago Keeper. I am Melandathor, one of the wardens of the revered woodlands of Cerin Amroth, and I and my fellows have accepted the solemn charge of custodianship. We ensure that the forests are not thrown out of balance. A problem has come to my attention within the last few decades. A particular birch, the Malbrethel, has not been seen as often as in days past, and when it is sighted, the saplings seem spindly and overly delicate. I want you to find and examine some of these saplings, if you would, that we might determine the cause of their malady. I would suggest heading east, then northeast once you are past the low white cliff. So, she wants me to go look at some trees. We're actually supposed to be talking to Frodo, and he's right here.
We have come such a long way, haven't we?
Medrielle, when Milwyn told me another traveler had come from over the mountain, had come to Lothlorien, I had no idea it would be you. We have come such a long way, haven't we? There is still a long way to go, but here in Lothlorien, I have found it difficult to worry too much about the road ahead. You have to tell Sam and me what has happened since we parted, my friend. It feels like a lifetime has passed since leaving Rivendell, and several, at least, since last I saw Bag End. But Sam does not seem as surprised to see you as I, Medrielle. You haven't become the chief conspirator of another conspiracy, have you, Sam?
Hello there.
Hello there, Medrielle. Me? A conspirator? It's not like that at all, Mr. Frodo, and you know. I'm not cut out for the keeping of secrets, despite your teasing. It's just that so many queer things have happened to us already, And this place being so elvish and all. I'd just about given up being surprised when something out of the ordinary happens. And here comes Medrielle out of the woods, right enough. You should find Mr. Merry somewhere around the hill, Medrielle. I know he'll be pleased as anything to see you. He's taking one of his walks and might be resting in a private garden already. Alright, so we need to find Merry, but first we're going to go ahead and grab the chalk and berries that we need, because they're not that far away. So along the rock, the cliff face here, you'll see these glowing rocks. And those are the white stones that she needs for her dye powder. And I don't know. Yep, there's more over here. So basically we're collecting chalk for her. There we go. Oh yeah, there's some lag going on here, all right. I swear they need to feed the server hamster some more. Okay, we can react anytime now. Alright, now we need berries. Then we'll go talk to Merry. Now this quest will turn into a daily after we're done doing everything for her. Because I don't think this is all she wants from us. Like the quest early on near Mechambizru, these quests start off in a couple of parts, and then when you've done them all, then they combine into one daily quest. Like I said, they are, well, they are one of the easiest, if slightly time-consuming ways of getting your reputation here in Lothlorien. Alright, so I have conveniently made everything we need flash. And on one hand, I am grateful because you might wander around here and look at all the bushes until you find what you're looking for. But on the other hand, I find it tiny bit hand-holdy. And I think I'm part of the reason why I like games like Valheim, because there's no real hand-holding there. You're going to wander around, you're going to get lost, turned around. You don't know exactly where you're going. You know you have some objectives. But that's about it. I hear Elden Ring's much the same way. Alright, so let's go find Merry. Oh, another thing about these daily quests is they kind of take you around Lothlorien to find the exploration points that you need. So in that way, they're actually good. You know, instead of taking you on a boring tour, they give you quests to do, and along the way, you get the tour. And this is Bane Gwaloth. Bane Gwaloth?
I did not think to run into you here. I can tell you that.
Well, hello there, Medrielle. What a delight it is to see you again. Pippin is around here somewhere, taking a nap, I believe. No, I wouldn't wake him. We'll have plenty of time to catch up, I imagine. Lothlorien is so peaceful, and it's hard to remember how hard our road will be, and has been. I wonder if you might track down Boromir. He doesn't seem to be having as good a time here as the rest of us. I think he's impatient to get going again, but maybe seeing you again will cheer him up. I last saw him on the northwest outskirts of the Great Clearing, from which Cerin Amroth rises. Alright, so let's go find Boromir. Well, we might as well stop and talk to her.
May
Manasiel.
the stars of Elbereth shine upon you.
You have returned. Please let me see what you have gathered. Wonderful, Medrielle, wonderful. These supplies are of excellent quality. Perhaps you too have a little of that artist about you. It would be most welcome were you to return and help me gather these ingredients while you're here. Perhaps I can stockpile enough to remove the need for another such trip for a good long time.
Welcome to the Golden Wood.
And
May we speak?
oh, okay. So it turns into a daily automatically. So we can actually gather her stuff again. You are willing to help me again. Blessings upon you. Artists throughout the Golden Wood produce a near insatiable demand for the basic colors. Do you recall where to find the raw ingredients required? Chalk can be pried out of the soft white stone along the rock face to the north, and you should also seek berry bushes in the woods to the west, from which you can gather red berries. So, yeah. And what did a new title, you may be now known as Medrielle, friend to the Galadriel. Did we get our friend already? Yes, we made friend with the Galadriel, which gives us a travel discount. We also got 3 silver branches, and the branches, and they're silver branches, and I think golden leaves, and those are used to buy special items. And there's everything from weapons, armor, recipes, housing stuff, few cosmetics. Friend to the Galadriel. And of course we're now working our way to Ally, and we're also working our way to completing Quest of Lothlorien, which is also worth another 10 LOTRO points. Oh, and speaking of which, how many? We got 25 LOTRO points just now. Hello. I like that. Alright. Good stuff. Let's see, how do we get up to Boromir? Well, we don't get up to him by lagging, that's for sure. That was a lynx that just growled at us. And here's Boromir. Legolas has proven himself a useful companion, but I am not sure of these other elves.
It is most strange to see you here. Has Eriador been made safe already?
Medrielle, it is most strange to see you here, as the last time I saw you was the Knight Elrond of Rivendell entrusted you with the continued defenses of Eriador. Is that land so safe already? Boromir sighs and squares his shoulders again. I am sorry, Medrielle. My words were born of frustration, not of dislike. Every hour we spend in idleness here is an hour during which the shadow draws closer to my city. I have seen little of Aragorn and even less of Gimli. Even now he's off at Legolas, atop one of the trees, at the crest of the Hill of Cerin Amroth. Speak to him and see for yourself. So, he has a most unpleasant attitude. And certainly impatient. Now, here's the thing. After we get done with here and Mirkwood, we have our choice of either going to Enedwaith, following Enedwaith to Dunland to Isengard, which actually has some very fun stuff going on there. Or we can attempt to go to Great River. And I'm not sure which I want to do first. Although Enedwaith is about the same level range as Mirkwood, I think. So we're going to be a little over leveled for that. Once we're done with Mirkwood. However, at the same time, it includes its own really interesting quest chain, which is gathering the Grey Company to go to Aragorn's aid. Which I actually find rather interesting, even if it does travel all over the place, including Foreshell, which we've never been to before, and Angmor, which we've also not been to yet. So, in order to do the part in Angmor, we'll have to do at least the quest at, I cannot remember the name of the place, I just know where it is. It's near, oh, I'm missing a stone. Let's get on our horse. It's not far away from North Downs. And we're frozen again. Well, while we're frozen, let's take a look at the map. Alright, so Eriador. Here's Enedwaith, Dunland, Isengard. Down here, we want Angmar. We're looking for Oghair. Right, Oghair, just inside the Ram Duath. So, in order to I believe in order to do the Grey Company stuff, I will have had to do at least the Oghair stuff. And also do the epic that will unlock the ability to go past the guarding stones that divide Angmar. So there will be a few extra steps involved in doing that. And I'll be honest, I believe that once we've done Inendway, Dunland, and Isengard, it leads us to Great River anyway. Although, let's be honest, by that point, we are pretty high level for it. Ah, and here. See this creature here? Malorn Ius. You see under its name, it says protect it. Now, this is a creature, if you kill it, you will lose reputation in Lorien. Now, I'm not really sure how much reputation you lose for each protected animal you kill, but if you're trying to get your rep up here, then probably a wise idea to avoid killing them. Which is why I said you want to avoid that one dwarf's quest, because that's what he wants you to do, is kill protected animals. And he thinks it's quite funny to do. Because, of course, he's a dwarf. We might as well. I mean, it was presented to us. And hey, like I said, we want that rep. And there are 2 or 3 places in Lothlorien that you're going to be able to spend your branches and leaves to buy stuff. I don't know if Cerin Amroth is one of them. Guess we'll take a look up there while we're there. There's also some more dailies up in the flat there. Alright. Once you figure out that there's a ton of little side quests that reoccur daily, it turns into a pretty easy task of doing the ones you prefer until you get to rep to max. But like I said, if you're new to the game and you're trying to figure it out, it can be rather a pain in the behind.
Welcome
Which
to
is
Lothlorien.
why we're going through these. Again, you have a good eye for raw materials. Anytime you wish to help me with this, you will be welcome to do so. And we can do this again in 13 hours and 22 minutes. So it resets at 3 a.m. server time. Usually, I think that's about right.
Welcome to the Golden Wood. May we speak?
May your path be ever starlit, friend. Welcome to Cerin Amroth. Do you not find the beauty of this place inspiring? Your pardon. I am Davronway, a statue carver from Cras Galadon. I'm here to listen to the trees and try to translate their lovely whispers into shapes that will last. Have you time to spare? I must build up a stockpile of wood and stone to work with. If you wish to help, you might fetch me some. Head east into the forest and then northeast a ways to the grove of Cairn Brethel. There you will find birch wood which can be gathered. workable stone can be readily found in Gwarist, well to the east of here, on the banks of the Anduin. Alright, so that is one quest, and that's going to become a daily.
Hail, stranger. If you are rested, I have a request of you.
Now, her quest is a little more extensive. So, first she's going to have me talk to some people. Then we come back and talk to her. And then we're going to gather some flowers. Then we're going to bring them back. Then we're going to go to the people we talked to, I think, and deliver the flowers. After that, it's just gather flowers, deliver flowers, I believe. My name is Tulin. What are you called? Medrielle. The name is familiar. Are you a friend of Aragorn, son of Arathorn? Ah, yes, you helped her forge Narsil from the shards. It is a pleasure and an honor to make your acquaintance. I remember when all of us here at Cerin Amroth once greatly doubted his fitness to court our sweet Undomiel, but I am sure you know the tale of their romance. What? You do not? I suppose with Elisar being as close as he is, it is not all that surprising. Nevertheless, if you are interested, you should certainly learn the tale, as it is sweet indeed. Oh, not from me. I have only pieces of it myself. I shall, however, send you to those from whom I learned the rest. Penarseth, known as the Keeper of Stories, has befriended one of the visiting hobbits along the path toward the city. Nairus, called the Guardian of Lore, can usually be found in the clearing east of here in Gerlindor with his friend Sindiel. Melubrimble, currently visiting the lovely garden of Santherwin, south of here, helped care for Arwen Undomiel when she was young. Alright, so we get to listen to a fine tale. And
by Thorin's beard, I did not expect to see you again so soon.
by Dornsbeard, I did not expect to see you again so soon, Medrielle. I am glad to be surprised. Legolas has been showing me the woods of Lothlorien, and the majesty of these trees, so like to stone-carved pillars beneath the mountains, fills this dwarf with amazement. But even in a land of marvels, its lady is the greatest one of all. Still, I am ready to return now to the ground, if you ask me. The trees are best admired from below, rather than up among their branches.
We are just about to search for more patrolling orcs. Why not come with us?
Legolas and I were just about to take another walk among the trees of Lothlorien in search of patrolling orcs, Medrielle. Why don't you come with us? What do you think, Legolas? Is there room in our party for a third? Surely Medrielle will enjoy seeing the beauty of the wood, and the possibility of hewing an orc or two will only sweeten the appeal of such a tour. Okay, so that's actually an instance which we will do later. I don't know if it'll be the next episode or the one after it, but we are going to go right around and talk to some elves. I mean, we could spend a good bit of time here in Lothlorien. I've forgotten that there were, because the more I think about it, the more side quests and dailies I think of, and despite it kind of being adjacent to Moria, not really its own thing, it's still rather nice. Ah,
Welcome to Lothlorien.
And this is, I'm not sure which one this is. Ah, this is Melibrenil. Gladly will I share what I know of the tale of Aragorn and my dear little Arwen. Aragorn, called Elisar after the green elf stone given him by the Lady Galadriel herself, was just shy of his 50th year. Still a brash youngling, he was weary, having been long fighting and traveling throughout many kingdoms, and had stopped in Lorien on his way back to Rivendell from the borders of the Black Land of Mordor. The Lady of the Golden Wood insisted that he cast off his ragged traveling apparel and dressed him in silver, white, and elven gray, such that he appeared almost more than a man, nearer to an elf lord from the Isles of the West, tall and stern. At the moment Arwen Undomiel, the Lady of Imladris, saw him again for the first time in nearly 30 years. At that moment, indeed, was her choice made to follow, await, love, protect, and honor Elisar, and share with him the doom of man. They had but a brief session to wander together through the woods and glades of Lothlorien. The Hill of Cerin Amroth was their most particularly beloved place. That is where they wandered barefoot through the blossoms of Nipodril and Eleanor, and was there that they finally plighted their troth and sealed their fate. Okay, so she speaks of when Arwen and Aragorn fell in love. Golden-tailed doe, not protected. It is, you really do have to be careful here, because some creatures are protected, others aren't. But golden-tailed buck is not. But we're not interested in messing with them right now. And of course you have your stinging swarm, your bugs that follow you around and pester you until they get bored and leave you alone. And this is Nerys.
Be wary, traveler. Orcs have come down from the mountains.
Megovanen, I am Nerys, the keeper of the histories of the Galadriel. I have memorized the lays and poems, the lineages, the heraldry, and the great martial and political deeds of our people. How may I be of service? Ah, I see. A tale of recent days, then. I have read a tale recorded by Elrond Half-Elven of the solemn discourse he held with the son of Arathorn, 15th chieftain of the Dunedain. The Lord of Imladris had read the heart of Aragorn and seen the new-born love there for Arwen Undomiel. He told Aragorn of the great doom that awaited him. Either he would rise above all his lineage since the days of Elendil the Tall, father of Isildur, or he would plunge into darkness with all the remnants of his kin. Also, that in the many years of trial that lay before him, he would neither take a wife nor bind a woman's troth to him until he should be found worthy of doing so. Elrond further warned Aragorn that the even store of her people was too far above him, and he too young for her. He explained how the long life and youth of the Eldar were hers, while her father stayed here, and that she would be able to follow him into the west when he should go. Were she to choose to bind herself to a mortal, Her doom would be bleak, her life shortened. She would never marry a mortal unless he was king of both Arnor and Gondor. The next day Aragorn, son of Arathorn, took his leave of his mother, Gilrain, and left the last homely house to go forth into the wilds. He was soon, however, seen once more here in Lothlorien. It is an abiding sorrow and grief to many of us that young Arwen and Domiel will not come with us when we go. Now, I tire. Hold this tale close to your heart. Consider it. Learn from it. Farewell, patient high elf. So, that speaks of a time before Aragorn and Arwen pledged themselves to each other. And for sure, Elrond did attempt to stop that from happening because, well, that's his daughter, and he knows the fate that awaits her if she gives up her elven immortality. He also knows that if she does so, which of course we know she does, he will never again see her until the sundering of the world. Which my guess is a very, very, very long time. I wonder if that were to happen, would he also see again Aragorn too? And if I remember, the last one is back at Ekad Endostel? Or it might not be. No, I know where it is. It's also the same place with the sickly trees and the wood we need to get for the sculptor. You have discovered Amroth and a pair of beautiful statues that I don't know if they're supposed to represent. Oh, you know what? It's not Galadriel and Celeborn. It's Amroth and Medrielle. That's who these two are. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so, beautiful statues. But we are here to speak to this elf, Piniseth.
May the stars of Ilberith shine upon you.
Megavanan, my good runekeeper. I am Piniseth, though I am sometimes called the Keeper of Stories. Have you a tale to share? Ah, a tale to request. And none less than that of Aragorn and Arwen. Wonderful. I first met Aragorn when he was a very small child under the care of Elrond half-elven, with whom I too was staying. His mother, Gilrain the Fair, brought him thither to live when he was but 2 years of age, his father Arathorn having been recently killed on campaign when an arc arrow pierced his eye. Erstil, as Aragorn was then known, was a sweet child, serious and intelligent, with no awareness of his kingly lineage. He would not be given that until his 20th year, and we all doted upon him. Since its occurrence during the elder days, we have sung of the great romance of the man, Baron One Hand, and the elf princess Lúthien, also called Tinuviel or Nightingale. I tell you this because I know of the first time Elisar set eyes upon the beautiful and Undomiel. He was singing a baron's first view of dancing Lothlorien, clad in silver and blue, dark-haired and gem-covered. Just then Oren Undomiel, clad and bejeweled in nearly the same manner, walked before him, believing himself the recipient of a vision. Aragorn called out just as Baron had, "Tinuviel, Tinuviel, is that not a sweet tale?" No, he had never met her before, despite the fact that she is Elrond's child. Why? It is simple. She had been living here in Lothlorien, for this is the land of her mother's kin. Alright, so we need to head back to Lothlorien. So each has a piece of the tale to tell. And of course we seem to have gotten it backwards, because the last one had the earliest story of Aragorn and Orwen. The one in the middle, well, had a middle piece of the story. And of course the very first one we talked to had the final piece of the story. But you put it all together, and it is a very sweet story indeed. Alright, up we go. We should probably be courteous and get off our horse first, but
Sweet-eyed, Rondir.
You have learned the tale. It is sad, but beautiful, is it not? I heard that Orwen now resides again with her father in Imladris, awaiting the day when Aragorn claims his rightful inheritance.
Welcome to the Golden Wood. May we speak?
Now that you know the sweet history of Elisor and his lady love Undomiel, perhaps you understand the solemnity of their journey, or their joining and their parting. The happiest time they had together was the season they spent in Lorien, especially here upon Cerin Amroth. It is the habit of many of us who have known either of them to spend time upon the hill, in the sunshine, reflecting upon the sacrifices they have made for each other. It is a good way to put one's problems into perspective, among other things. Would you like to do so as well? It must be during the day, as Aragorn said when they spoke their promise. Neither the shadow, which he always repudiates, nor the twilight is for him, being mortal. Go to the southern side of the hill and meditate upon these matters for a time. Alright, so she's saying that we should meditate, but we should do it during the day. Which, obviously, it is not daytime right now, it's night. And we have so many other things to do here now. And we have barely even started. But that will be for next time. And until then, bye for now.